Hi, this is Exercise, a show where I sometimes look at hobby model supplies that you may or may not use with your Gunpla. This time, we are looking at the Yamadakagaku 1 to 150 soldiers. Obviously, Yamadakagaku is not unfamiliar. I have looked at their 1 to 12 assault rifle and shotgun offering, and one of my background as part of the filming table is their base structure stance background. So I have been following them quite a lot, aside from probably the most prominent on this channel besides Bandai, for obvious reasons. Now I grabbed this off Daiso, as usual, and these guys are absolutely tiny. You can see I'm pretty much zooming in with the maximum optical zoom the camera is capable of, and you can still barely make out the details on these guys. Not that they're, they are very well detailed, but on this tiny size for their Daiso as a Daiso offering, you don't expect, keep your expectations down. I absolutely get these guys because they do work well with the 1 to 144 Gundam. If I put him up a little bit more, you can see when they stand, it is almost the same size as the cockpit. In fact, this guy who is sitting, with the guy that is sitting, it is almost like he would fit in that cockpit. So that tells you how well it would fit in with most of the Gunpla. Like traditional Green Army guys, you have different role that they are performing. Some are shooting, some are just running around, some is doing a salute, and then there's this guy doing, or this guy handing on a stretcher, which is supposed to team up with this guy, but I can't get the guy on the right attached to the stretcher. And they are kind of in this awkward position of hovering over. It works on photo shoot or display somewhat, but yeah. We got two type of shooting guy, or this is a low ready and this is a high ready / shooting. This is just marching. This is just standing, I suppose. And yeah, this guy sitting is kind of wild what he's exactly doing, but you can find place for him to be. This guy is scared, running away, or signaling something, I guess. This is the really weird one, with the gun probably broken, and yeah, just as flavor next to your Gundam, they works, showing off how big Gundam is. And let's see if we have any luck with the focus. So close yet so far. Yeah, you can see there's tiny bits of white. This guy is actually damaged either when I clip it out or when it was during transport when I bought it. No big deal, you can easily fix them with glue, and you can certainly stick them on their base if you need to. But yeah, once stand up, you don't really see that part, and you can paint it over if it really bothers you. You also get a bit of prop like a crate, some sandbags, actually the right size, not the overly huge ones. They're actually in appropriate size. And then a small drum, which is tiny, but the gesture is cool. Now, this would be a great offering if not for, like, Yamadakagaku, as they partner with Daiso for the most part, are offering things on a budget. You don't get Yamadakagaku because they are good, you get them because they are cheap and easily available. You can find them with Daiso, which means it's probably being imported by some other Japanese department store. So the availability is sometimes better than Gunpla or other hobby supplies from Japan, but no guarantee. But at least they will be cheaper in general. Anyways, they do come in with a guarded runner, like there are walls on the four sides. Probably one to keep the plastic leveled, but also sort of protecting the tiny scopes of these guys. But yeah, because they're so tiny, when you clip them off, they might still get damaged. And for the dudes, you clip them clean off the pegs, at least on top. But on the bottom, they have this peg to peg into the base. So you actually want to cut a bit low so that you got that peg for the base, which you don't have to stick on this base. You can use it to stick on other things of your liking. But yeah, other than these walls on the side to protect them from transport, during building they are quite vulnerable. So being usual Yamadakagaku Daiso offering certainly helps with that. But there's another problem. These are not the typical polystyrene that Gundam or other Yamadakagaku offering is based off of. These guys are ABS, and Yamadakagaku outsourced them to another country to produce them. Not sure why, but I will say their quality control is not as great as Yamadakagaku's usual offering. Again, Yamadakagaku is or at least for the models, they are gunning for budget and availability more than quality. But I would say these guys, with the shrinkage, the bending, and the somewhat blurry scopes, and the use of ABS, is below their usual quality. Having said that, I am still happy to have army dudes that I can pose with my Gundam. Like how the stretcher guy stands fine with just himself. That is good design. It's just that the quality control, even for Yamadakagaku, it is a bit low in this case. So yeah, if there is a Daiso or Daiso-like store around you, keep an eye out for this if you need some army dudes for your 1-to-144 Gunpla. Thanks for watching. See you next time.